Right, so have a little pan around. Look up there. Look at that sign over there.
We'll go around all.
So here we are in Carnaby Street. Carnaby Street back in the 60s was the centre of British fashion. This is where all the mod culture and all that began. And back then it was all like little independent sort of stalls, you know, Mary Quant and all those people began here. And this was where modernism was really the centre of it. Soho's just behind us, which is where all the jazz clubs were. And this became the worldwide mecca for fashion. And when I came of age in the sort of late 70s and early 80s, this was Skinhead Centre. This is where we would all come on a Saturday. So I would come down we get the train in from Wickham to Marlow, and then we bunk the train down to Oxford Circus, and then from Oxford Circus walk down here. And this street behind me is Ganton Street, which is just off of Carnaby Street. And this is where the original Mercs was cut down, Shelley's, or Shelley's, one or the other, which was the boot shop and all that. But this is where we used to hang about this little street, because in the skinhead world they always talk about the last resort and the East End, but for us it was West End, West London, and this is where we would come. And I remember one time being up here, pretty much standing in this exact position, and a bunch of mods came up from that direction. We'd walked up from Leicester Square, and we came up, and there was a whole bunch of scooters parked up. And back then, this would have been about 82, 3-ish. The Mods and Skinheads were like arch enemies, and we walked up, there's mod scooters everywhere. So we've come up here, and there was probably maybe 4 of us, and then all of a sudden this big, there used to be a what was called the flea market just down there, and it was like an indoor, like little stalls, and there was an upstairs, and I think there might have been a pool up there, but it was generally little stalls, and that's where all the skinheads used to hang about. So anyway, this fucking place was full of mods, and all of a sudden it went up, and all the mods kicked off with a bunch of skinheads who were in the flea market down there. So we, at that time, I was probably only about 15, 16, 17, that sort of age, and I'm thinking, shit, you know, like, there's all these fucking mods, the skinheads are kicking off, about 10 of them, and there's about 3 of us, so I thought, fuck, we're going to have to go in, there's about 300 of them. So I was thinking, shit, we're going to get a kicking. But as we were braving up to go and join in, this whole mob of skinheads came running down the street from up there. There's a pub, I think it used to be called the King and Queen, which is up on the right. It's called O'Neill's now. But they all came running down, and it was the biggest fucking tear-up I ever saw between skinheads and mods. So we all joined in, and we chased the mods all the way down to Leicester Square, which is about half a mile down that road, and it was fucking fisticuffs all the way. It was fucking brilliant. But yeah, that was a great experience of the early skinhead days. But yeah.